friends, welcome to the first episode of Go 1200 FM. Is that FM?
Go 1200
I'm sorry.
podcast.
Oh, sorry. Okay, again, so I check as well.
不用啦
Okay, good afternoon, friends.
NG.
Yes. Okay, good day, friends. Welcome to the first episode of Go 1200 podcast. Allow me to introduce us. I'm your host for today. My name is Henry, and with me are two subject matter experts in Siu Hei as well as and Daniel.
Hi.
Yes. And the topic that we're going to discuss about today is me.
Why are we talking about you today,
Because
Henry?
we are going to discuss about Henrys.
Henry's.
Yes.
So what does Henry mean?
Oh, I thought you are the subject matter expert.
I thought you're the host.
Okay. yes. So later the both of them will elaborate. So I'll share a little bit about Henrys first. So Henrys are basically an acronym for high earners not rich yet. Allow me to repeat. It stands for high earners not rich yet. So where did it came from? According to Investopedia, it actually was coined in a 2003 Fortune magazine. It refers to a segment of families, right, earning between 250,000 per year to $500,000 a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
250,000 per year
Yes.
to $500,000 per
Correct.
year. SGD or USD?
In this case, it will be USD.
Oh, USD.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, just in case you later, if you heard all the so-called not so nice thing about Henry, you will think, oh, okay, I'm not earning 250,000 or 500,000, so it's not me, right? No. Let me share a little bit and elaborate. And thanks to one Instagram that I saw recently, I believe many of you would be familiar. That is the work salary man. Okay, I saw in their Instagram recently they mentioned that based on SingStats research in 2020, right, if you earn anything above 6,700 a month, you're considered top 20% of income earner already.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Correct. So just in case you are thinking, I'm not earning 20k a month, so I'm not considered a Henry's, right? Even when you spend, no. Let's take a look at the local statistics, right? Based on per month. Okay?
So the last income that I draw from my corporate job qualify me to be a Henry.
Maybe it qualifies you to be a he, but not the Henry.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's a high earner. But maybe you rich already.
Oh,
Rich
yes.
already.
Yeah, you
Rich
rich already,
already.
right?
Oh, I wish. So I want to be the he and not the Henry.
Yes. Okay, so anyway, Henry's is based on, so in terms of financially, right, it means high earners, not rich yet. Now, why high earners and not rich yet?
Maybe because they overspend.
They overspend.
So they earn a lot, but then they don't have a lot of wealth.
Okay.
They spend more than they earn.
They spend more than that. So what our two experts shared are actually quite true. Basically, based on what we have learned also, actually it is based on how much they earn, right? Their outflow, not so much of their outflow, but rather where do their outflow go to? Yeah. So if your outflow goes to savings and investments, say for businesses, for investments to build your wealth, right? You are still building up wealth.
Yeah.
But many a times the problem Henry's face is that their outflow consists of expenses, right? Living expenses or even lifestyle expenses, right? They are not towards building of their wealth, but rather in other aspects of their life which they like to enjoy.
Right.
Yeah. So I believe both of you also have a lot of experience, and maybe even your friends as well as your clientele over the years, given the number of experience you have in financial planning landscape, right? Would you like to share what are some of the examples or even your thoughts on Henry's?
I think one part on what you mentioned, outflow and expenses. I think that's the difference between outflow and expenses. So outflow may not equate to expenses.
Okay.
Expenses is something that once you have spent, then it's out already. It doesn't come back. Outflow is probably savings. Savings to a bank on a gyro basis could be an outflow.
Yes.
Right? But then it will still come back later.
Yeah.
So I think one key thing is to differentiate between outflow and expenses at this point in time first. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Well, on my side, majority of my clients who are high income earner, majority of the expenses goes to children's education, enrichment classes, and before COVID, it was usually going to vacation. I'm not sure whether that's the same for Daniel, but that's very often for mine. And of course, all these high income earner, they tend to, when their income rises, they also want to stay in a better place. And when their income rises, they feel the stress, they need an outlet for them to be pampering themselves, to be enjoying themselves. So that's where the vacation comes in. That's also where the dining into F&B comes in. I'm speaking about that because I'm also guilty of that in the past.
Okay.
Right.
Staycations, maybe?
Staycation?
Yes,
Yeah.
staycation.
I need to de-stress, that's why I need to go for staycation.
I need
It's-
a weekend getaway.
It's staycation because it's COVID now, right? If it's no COVID, it's vacation, right?
Correct, exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
And then if I only got 1 day leave, then it's a daycation.
Okay. Would you like to
Yeah.
share more on your past experiences when you were in the corporate world?
Oh,
Your
for me,
staycation?
for me, in the past when like the organizations change, when I have a new boss, new system, new kind of meetings, I'll be like calling my husband, can we go on a weekend getaway? I can't take the stress anymore. Let's just go somewhere. And very often I'll be planning like vacations after vacations together with my family. And the thoughts is always like, oh, my parents are old. If I don't bring them out for vacation now, then when? Anyway, my money is going to top up every month. At the end of the month, it's going to be a refill, right? So I shouldn't worry so much about my income. So that's how I ended as a, unfortunately, Henry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See.
And there's always the peer pressure whereby when I look around me, all my peers, they are sending their kids to 百丽国, to all the enrichment classes. If I don't send them to the same classes, I feel that I'm losing out. All of them are like going for piano classes, swimming classes, ballet classes. And if I don't send them there, I feel like I'm depriving my kids. Especially when I was traveling quite a fair bit in the past, I was away from home, I was at work. There's this guilt within me that I feel I need to compensate somewhere. So sometimes I tend to pamper the kids a little more than probably I should. Now that I know of how to better manage my finances, this was indeed some of the mistakes that I made in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Thanks for sharing, Siu Heng. Daniel as well. It's just now I heard something that you all shared. I think it was from Siu Heng, right? You mentioned that now with COVID, so the vacation becomes staycation,
Yeah.
right? And then they're not able to go on vacation, right? From your own experience, in your clientele, what happens to all this extra money?
Extra money?
Since
as
they
in?
never go for vacation, so they're able
Oh.
to save up, right?
I think some of them, they go on to buy watches.
Oh, okay.
So they'll be thinking, since I don't spend maybe 5K or 8K on the vacation, then this maybe this watch costs about the same price, and I don't spend this money already. I might as well transfer this money to buy this thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, so in the end, the money still gets so-called spent away.
I
Is
see.
that speaking from your own personal experience? Watcher, sound familiar.
It's the same watch ever 10 years ago.
Okay.
Is it the same for you, Xiao Qing?
No. For me, in 3 days' time, what day is that?
3 days time, what day is that? Oh, 双十一吗?
Yes, 11/11. So I think a lot of my clients are actually attracted by all this online shopping, whereby every month there's something. There's a 9/9, there's a 10/10, there's a 11/11. Yeah, and they are just preparing for like all these big deals that's coming every month.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess that's where some of the money is going to. Yeah.
So then again, when they go on Shopee for all these promotions, right? It may not be a large amount, right? But
It may not be a large amount, but sometimes when you accumulate it, right, actually it becomes a very large amount.
Oh.
The thing about online shopping, from my experience, last year, right? Last year was circuit breaker, so I was also clicking away. I bought this thing that I showed Xiao Qing before. I don't know what is it called. It's like a little guitar. Then you can play on it. I bought it. I never used it after that. I played twice. Then after I put it one side already. I don't know where is it now.
Why do you buy it?
Because of boredom, I was cooked at home. I thought I would use that thing to play and entertain myself, right?
Okay.
So I sit at the balcony, I play a few times, give a pat on my shoulder for playing it. Then after that, I put it somewhere else already. So I think about online shopping is really about the ease of clicking on it that caused the amount of money to be spent to be skyrocketing. Yeah.
Tell me about boredom. Recently, one of my clients went on QO, quarantine order.
Okay.
And then because he was so bored being cooped into that hotel room for 2 weeks, right? He actually bought a laptop just to play games within that 2 weeks because there's nothing else that he can be doing. So in the end, he ended up buying a laptop delivered to his hotel room.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you can be surprised.
Okay,
You may think that online shopping is should be small damages, but you'll be surprised what people are buying online now. It could be gadgets, could be big ticket items. Yeah, people could even buy the whole house reno from Taobao. Do you know that? Like
yes,
the
yes,
sofa, the furnitures, everything can be bought from Taobao these days.
True.
Supposedly it's cheaper, right? That's my understanding now. Why they're buying from Taobao?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe when it is cheap, somehow it gives us the subconscious mentality that we can buy more.
That's
It's
true.
cheaper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we buy, right? So the additional more may not be the things that we really need, lah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, interesting. Speaking about this, so based on this Investopedia article, right, it mentions that luxury brands such as Louis Vuitton and Tag Heuer have found Henry's to be a lucrative market segment and are now incorporating them in their marketing strategies.
I'm
Yeah.
not surprised at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe next time Taobao or Shopee may even come up with a luxury category.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah.
surprised at all.
Probably. Yeah.
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 Interesting.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, then one thing interesting about Henry's is that, of course, we talk about the rich and the wealthy, right? You know, people who can just rely on their assets generating income for them, and they may not have to work. So in this case, it mentioned that Henry's are labeled the working rich, working rich, as their rich status, right, is largely attributed to their working income and not their wealth.
Interesting.
Yep.
So basically, in short, when they're not able to work anymore, right, they lose their income.
Yeah.
But the expenses, the lifestyle cannot be, just cut off just like that. Say for example, a condo, mortgage repayment, yeah, as well as maybe a car. Even if you sell off immediately, you're going to sell it at a loss.
Yeah.
But then the income is a straight cut.
Yeah.
Probably it's experience for people who have been retrenched before. I believe from your own clientele, experience.
Myself.
Your own experience. Would you like to share?
Yeah. Retrenchment, very common. Like because we thought that the income is comfortable, and it's true that the Henrys, this category of income earners, right, they have the ability to be getting a bigger loan. With that bigger loan, they are actually entitled to higher purchasing power. They can get the condo whereby the lower or the medium income can't really get it. So they actually have this power to destroy themselves because they are entitled to be having a bigger purchasing power, ability to be buying more. So when you look at what your peers are doing, it seems like since Henry Tan is also buying a condo, Daniel Wong is staying in a condo, I'm earning about the same income as them. Of course, I can be staying in a condo as well. And that's the very usual kind of mentality that our friends have outside. But what they are not aware is that actually every single one of us, although we have the same income, but our financial goals are different. The lifestyle is also different. Maybe Henry doesn't need to provide for his parents, but I may have my parents, my in-laws, and 2 kids to be taken care of. While maybe Daniel is just married with the wife, they can be going for 4 times a year vacation. But when I didn't know the background story, I'll be looking at, it's great that they can go on vacation. If they can do it, I'm sure I can do it too, right? So that's really the how peer pressure can really affect the way that you spend, like it or not. And when you rightly mentioned about the Louis Vuitton, in my past job, I was in the luxury world. Every people, even my admin staff, even the executive, they're all wearing like Louis Vuitton. So as a manager, I'll be thinking like, I need to match up to that.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them are even driving bigger cars. So
And you lah.
Yeah. And I'm not even driving, I was taking public transport.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought public transport got chauffeur mah.
And also a must. I think on the part of property, most people they look at property as 2 main things. If I can afford the down payment and I can afford the mortgage repayment,
Okay.
then it's a green light for me already.
Yeah.
But many a times they don't think about how this purchase will affect the rest of the financial goals that they have. For example, children education funding or even financial independence. So I think it's becoming very myopic in terms of how people plan in their finances. I can get this down payment, I got 200,000, every month I can service 3,000 per month. Okay, let's go for it already. Yeah, so I think that's one dangerous point for Henry's also.
Thanks.
Yeah, and once the income stops, and then the thunderstorm will come. Yeah, correct.
Thanks for sharing, Daniel and Suhail. But what you both mentioned, I feel that it's so interesting that it can be a topic by itself. Because for example, what you shared about the affordability, right?
Yeah.
I believe not even Henry's, right? Even a normal income earner, they may only be just thinking about the down payment that they can afford, how much installment that they are paying.
Yeah.
But as financial planners, I believe you also understand it's also about the long-term implication
Yeah.
of that servicing and how it affects other goals and objectives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that can be a topic by itself.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, in another episode,
Mm.
definitely we can expound more on that.
Yeah.
And what Seo Hing mentioned just now, right, about the peer pressure, the perception of, oh, since my friend can afford this, I'm the manager, I earn higher than them, definitely I can also.
Mm.
Without understanding that perspective, right, it's also another topic by itself.
Oh.
You know why? Remember what I shared with you offline about in secondary school last time during exam? The kind of experience.
Yes.
I'll share with you, I say that, have you had this experience? Okay, maybe you may not have, but I did have such experience before. Once you finish your O-level, or your PSLE or A-level, and then you walk out of the exam hall, right? And then suddenly you have your close friends telling me, wow, jialat lah, I never studied that questions, I don't know how to answer. die already, fail already. Then the next moment when you receive your results, right? The fella got an A and then you fail.
It's
Yeah.
true,
Also,
it's so
happens
true.
all the
You
time.
already.
It's so
Really?
true.
Always a victim of this.
Yeah.
I never study full marks.
Full
Yeah.
I also never study 60 marks.
No. So y'all were playing, right? We were playing all this while. So I was thinking, since he's playing also, I'm also playing, right? Cannot be different lah. Then since he feel that it's not easy to get a result, I also the same thing. So I have a sense of relief until we got the result.
Yeah.
Then maybe I find out, sekali this fella, in the middle of the night, he studied very hard. But we don't share that time together.
Yeah.
Then another one like what Daniel mentioned, right? Some people, even if they don't study, they can also get full marks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So different people, I think, have different situations, and definitely it'll be a good topic to share. In another episode to elaborate on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On this point, right, family background is also one key thing that we consider in planning for clients.
Yeah.
So for example, when clients ask the question, the magical question, how much cash at bank should I have inside my bank account?
Okay.
The textbook answer is usually 3 to 6 months, right? So I was having this conversation with my reservist friend, then he asked me this question. I say yes, that's the textbook answer, but then it depends on many factors. But one factor is, if I press button, is there money that comes over? What do I mean by that?
Yeah.
Some clients, right, they have 3 to 6 months of income in the bank. But once they press button, they have a kim sua behind them. They have strong family finances
That button
background.
is called dad's phone number or mom's.
Correct. They call the PM scholarship, Papa Mama scholarship. Once you press button, the money also. So that can be one factor in consideration also. So if I see my friend who spends a lot, for example Henry, but then he has a strong family background, financial family background, probably that's the reason why he can spend a bit more. But if I think I'm a 10K earner, he's a 10K earner, and also spend the same as him, I could end up in disaster. Yeah.
Exactly. One other factor that I feel very strongly for is what we learned from training this morning on medical inflation, which is going at 10% per annum in Singapore. So yes, both three of us could be earning the same income, but what if my parents are in medical needs and they are not financially independent? Who then will be the ones shouldering that? So do I have one sibling, or do I have like 5 siblings who can be sharing the cost of my parents' retirement and my parents' medical costs? So that is something very real, and that's really biting.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree. I mean, I have friends. I also have distant relatives, right? You have 5 children sharing over the parents' medical insurance versus 1 children shouldering the whole medical insurance expenses is very different.
Yeah, I'm the lucky one who has 4 other siblings with me.
I'm 50%. I only got one more sister.
Thanks for sharing.
So that's exactly this Singlish term called same but different.
Yeah, different.
Different.
You're right. Same but different. Same but different. Thanks for both of your sharing. So in conclusion, today we shared about Henry's, which is basically a high earners, not rich yet. But of course, like what both of them have shared, right? End of the day, it also depends on your background. Also, it depends on the different circumstances. I think that can only be discussed together with your financial planner, an authentic financial planner. Yeah. So thanks for sharing. And I think we will conclude based on today. And of course, what do you think are some of the, maybe before that, what are some of the one tip or advice they want to share to Henry's?
To Henry's, I think one key thing is about understanding that it's more on the lifestyle that you desire. So I always share with my friends that lifestyle is like sugar. Once you get addicted to sugar, it's difficult to cut it away. So I started my dieting journey last year, and then my trainer asked me to cut sugar. Initially, it was very difficult. But after I managed to cut it right, it was getting easier and easier, and I
Mm.
get clarity of mind, of thoughts also.
Mm.
So recently my weight went up again because I was sneakily eating sugar.
Oops, oops, oops.
And I realized that once I started to taste sugar again, right, I crave for sugar the next day.
Ah.
I eat a chocolate cake on a Sunday. The Monday I think maybe tonight I'll have some dark chocolate before I
Oh.
sleep. So lifestyle is really like sugar. Once we start on it, it's difficult to hold back. So I think the key thing is about having the discipline to cut it off first at this point in time, and then to follow through from that. Yeah,
Luxury once enjoyed becomes a necessity.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm just going to summarize what Daniel mentioned about the Kim Swa behind you with this little tagline that I really like. So how it goes is that if you don't have wing beneath your wings, live below your knee. Live below your means. Yeah. So I'm just going to repeat that again.
Nice.
If you don't have wing beneath your wings, live below your means. Not even live within your means. It's about living below your means.
Steady. Agree. And if you want to enjoy the lifestyle that you want, to continue to live below your means, all it takes is to increase your means, right? Find ways to increase your means so that you can continue to live below your means.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing. Okay, so I think that's all we have for today. Please don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. The like will help to push the channel up to more people to be able to take a look at it, and subscribe will keep you updated with any of our latest podcasts along the way.
Yep.
Okay, thank you
Great.
very much again for Daniel
you so
and
much.
Siu Heng.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Henry.
Thank you everyone.